Hello everyone, today's video is all about age. Now I am in my mid-40s, 45 to be precise, and things just aren't the same as when I used to do makeup in my 20s, even my 30s. And I do find every 7 to 10 years, I tell my clients, for those of you that don't know, I am a professional makeup artist for 25 years. So my clients come to me and say, this just isn't working for me anymore. It really comes down to less is more. But don't let that fool you. That doesn't mean you can't wear a bright, bold lipstick or a dramatic eye. It really becomes about balance, which in good makeup, no matter what your age, it's about that. But it really becomes very important how you place the makeup and the consistency and the formula of the actual textures that you're placing on your skin. So today I want to focus on the things that have really worked for me and also for my clients. So think of this as just working smarter, not harder. What doesn't work for me is 50 steps when it comes to skincare. So I like to take a few key products to do heavy work. So for instance, this is one of my favorite new products because it does prep, protect with SPF 50. So it's a daily SPF primer. It has a little bit of a tint to it. It has some nice glow factor, micro shimmers. It is a natural product. And look at that. It does settle down into the skin. I'm going to do it here in just a minute. But what I love is that if I just want to put this on, some concealer, I'm good to go.
Oh, 1 mile in fog patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning.
Stars shining bright above me.
As you can see, this just instantly adds glow and dimension to the face. And I've said it once and I'll say it again. Actually, I've said it several times, and that is when you bend the light, which is where you get this movement across the high points of the face, that's how you know you're doing it right. But it really is important because as we get older, we look more tired. Our skin isn't lustrous. We usually, but not for all, don't have as much oils that come through and sit on the surface of the skin. So you want that facial glow. You kind of have to fake it sometimes. Now I'm going to stick just to one side of the face so that you can see the before and after. Now the next thing that doesn't work for me is a full coverage foundation, unless it's a specific look that I'm trying to achieve or it's a special event. If a client came to me and said they're having age concerns and time constraint, I would not recommend a full coverage foundation. I would recommend a tinted moisturizer and then a really good concealer to touch up where you need to. Because the goal here is to have skin that looks like it's living and breathing. So my favorite, just did a video on it, the Mary Phillips Underpainting palette. It's considered underpainting because you put this on first and then you do a light to medium foundation on top. What we have is a color corrector, 2 highlighters, and 2 contours. This is really more of like a bronze because it's nice and warm, but I use this every day now. It is so easy to use, and she has a brush that's great. It's a buffing brush on one end and then your detail brush or application brush on the other end. So what I like to do in the morning is I'll grab a little bit of that color corrector because most of us just have discoloration through here and here, which I've talked about before in my videos. And so what you want to do is just work in that area and be quite quick. This shouldn't take very long. If you have 5 to 7 minutes in the morning, that's all you need. We're really just trying to neutralize discoloration, brighten and enhance the complexion. All right, so redness, darkness, dark spots. And say I want to highlight a little bit. I want to just kind of bring this area a little light and shape the nose just a little bit. Grab some light through here. From there, I take my brush and I just buff quite quickly into the skin. Work out against a smile line. Don't work into the groove or pigment can collect. If you buff it really good, it should be fine. When it comes to around the eyes, I don't sweep really hard because the skin there is very thin, so I like to press and then I'll lightly buff with the tips of the bristle of the brush and then pat again. Remember when you pat, you're getting a opaque or more coverage in that area rather than going back and forth. That will sweep the product around. Nice and bright. See how this is a little darker through here. My dark spots are standing out. You can definitely see my redness. And this is just softer, more even. The next thing that I wouldn't do is put my bronzer or contour too low, but I would do is lift everything up. Remember, gravity takes its toll and wants to move everything down. So where you may have placed your blush or your bronzer before, which is here, you now need to go up. We're creating the illusion of lift. So what you want to do is grab your contour, and I'm not going to go here. I'm going to go directly on that bone and just working up and stippling. Now, I'm not trying to do a full contour, full glam, or what they call beat face, where there's 15 stripes on my face. Do that if you want to. I've done a video on that, especially if you have extra time or you're going to an event. But during the day when I get up, I just want to enhance and correct and quickly create a face that looks healthy and glowy and lifted. So we've put the focus on lifting this part of the face. Let's lift the eye a bit. So we're going to go from the edge or outer corner of the eye and up over the tail of that brow. Now what does this do? It creates light right here. Because we have dark here and dark here, it's going to further create the illusion of a lift. And you also have a nice little highlight because it's the brightest point now. Because remember, the contrast of color, what happens when you put a dark against a light is that the dark color sits back here and then it'll brighten further just your natural skin tone even. So proximity of color allows this to be extra bright and helps to brighten, lift, and open the eyes. Taking the contour, you're going to go right on the bone. Not on the top, not on the bottom. Right on it. Go up and around the front of the ear. And then I like to lightly flick back. You see that light shadow right there? Pulling everything up. We only have a few steps left. So here's the step, though, that I would never, ever, ever do without. That's your brow. And I know I talk about it a lot, but it's because I mean it. I mean it. I mean it. Your brow shapes, lifts, and frames the eyes. And that's the focal point of the face. So what you want to do is if you have thin, sparse brows, such as myself, I have a decent amount here, but my brows are pretty thin. And this is actually pretty grown in at this point. So this is as good as it gets. What you want to do is you want to stain the hair underneath, which I'm going to show you here in a minute, and you want to lift the brow hair. It's all about creating illusion that you have more brows than you actually do. Now, if you have thin brows, sparse brows, L brows, which means you kept all this, but then you plucked all the rest, so it's like a straight line, or you just have straight line brows that are very thin, or you have no brows, this is for everyone. And I have done thousands and thousands of brow fixes with makeup because as a makeup artist, 25 years, I've seen it all, I've done it all, I've fixed it all. So when I created this technique, I was thinking of every brow type, shape, and concern that you could possibly imagine. So let me show you. First, use a brow gel. I'm using the NYX in black and I'm working backwards. It's really important because it helps stain the skin. Then I go to the front end of the brow and lift up. And I do it 2 times to really push that hair up and forward and set it into place. Once I have it in place, I go and take my finger and stamp it to push it and set it down onto the skin. I go back in and do another coat just to further lift that brow hair. Now, if you don't have any brow hairs, that's okay. I'm going to show you how to use a pencil here in just a minute. This side looks tired. This side looks lifted. Our second step, we want to use a wax brow pencil. This is by Casas. And we're going to go in and lightly sketch or flick little brow-like hairs into our brow, working in different directions because that's how brow hair grows. It's not a straight line. Once I've used my scribble technique, which is just lightly coating the hair, I'm going to take it a step further, and this is very important. If you have a gap, as you see I have one right here, from point A to point B, I'm going to do a angled straight line, and then I'm going to fill it in. As I'm filling it in, I'm shaping the brow, taking down my spoolie and thinning out the pigmentation. And here we have the after and the before. What a difference. Incredible. All right, so the next step I would never, ever, ever, ever skip is to curl my lashes. Once again, we're trying to lift and open. So even if you don't put mascara on, please do curl your lashes. So I'll just go in and go as close as I can to the base, and I just pump it a little bit softly. I'm using my Swede mascara. It has these great little teeth. And I don't put a lot on. I want it to be feathery, light, wispy, very natural, day-friendly. Work in the direction of the lash. Don't just stay there and work over and over in the center. You can do that initially to open the center point of the eye, but then make sure you work on each section to lift, fluff, and separate. Ah, lipstick. It is your face's best friend. Why? Because it is so much to throw your look together, to wake up the complexion. In fact, if you're running out of the house and you just throw a lipstick on, it really does make a difference. So what I'm gonna do today is use my new favorite lip liner. This is also by Mary Phillips. It's the Over Lip Liner. And I'm going to shape my lips because I have a decent-ish bottom lip that's a little fuller, but my upper lip is small. And in general right now, with what we're seeing with lip injections and fuller lips being the look and the trend, these lips are pretty small.
Breezes seem to whisper sycamore tree. Dream a little dreamer. Breezes seem to whisper that you.
Here we have it, an easy what I would do, what I wouldn't do, and this is for everybody. If you are just starting with makeup, it's a really pretty soft look, and if you are looking to bring out your features for something quick and easy, this is a really great look. If you're somebody who has age concerns, this is a really great and easy look. Overall, just a great go-to. Now say you have a couple extra minutes or you are going to an event. There's something like dinner or cocktails or meeting with friends, or you just want to enhance one last feature just a bit. Let me show you how to give the eyes a little rawr. I like something that's a bit dramatic and really shows off that sharp point. But you can take that off and just do the edge just to give a little lift and bring some shape to the outer corner of the eye. I find that little tail kind of helps. I'm going to take a little off so you can see how you can do something a little shorter while still having that nice sharp tail that's kind of the mid point. When you're looking straight on, it just kind of helps to pull upward. And here we have the final look. Something I really want to emphasize, and that is your makeup routine does not have to be complicated for you to achieve the look that you want. Definitely drop me a comment down below. Let me know where you're at on your makeup journey. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And if you'd like to book a one-on-one lesson with me, head to cherivoyage.com where I do Zoom lessons with clients all over the world. And lastly, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and use those affiliate links down below for any of your shopping needs. I will have everything I use today, as well as a list of different stores. Anytime you use my links, I get a small commission. It helps me to do this channel. All right, everybody, I'm going to go and make some more videos for you. I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bye for now.